Hey Stillwater, welcome to the Still Connect podcast, a podcast all about Stillwater, Oklahoma. I'm your host, Denver Evans, a born and raised Stillwater local and owner of Stillwater Digital Marketing. Every Wednesday, I share a friendly chat with someone in our community that's helping make Stillwater such a great place. Whether you're a longtime resident or just a visitor, this is your place to plug in, stay inspired, and still connect with the stories that shape our community. And if you ever want to watch these interviews, you can check them out on YouTube. I'm really excited about today's episode. I'm here with Jake Kelly with the Grazing Farm. And as you can see, or probably hear, we are here in the middle of their chicken coop, chicken run. What do you call it?
So it's a hen house.
Okay.
And we actually call it the mother hen, just because of how it kind of fans out and kind of looks like a mother hen. My wife, Mariah, kind of coined that phrase.
Oh, yeah?
Not to interrupt the introduction here, but this is after Joel's Millennium Feather Net.
Joel
Salatin. Millennium Feather Net, but I don't really like that, so we call it the mother hen.
Yeah. Awesome. So give us a little bit of an intro. Tell us about the Grazing Farm.
Okay, so it is, so my name is Jake, like you said, and this is our farm. It's an 80-acre farm. We've been out here almost 3 years to the date. We're about to start our 4th year here on the farm. We bought it about 4 years ago. It took us about a year to get moved out here. And since moving out here, our passion for regenerative ag has just continued to grow more and more. And so back in 2023, we raised our first batch of meat birds. We raised 50, and we butchered them ourselves here on the farm. And now we're here in 2025. And we're looking at doing about 4,000.
Wow.
This year.
Wow. So what was kind of the idea, heart behind doing this and doing it this way?
Yeah, so it came very organically, slowly, naturally. It was never the plan. I had no plan in my future of being a farmer, part-time farmer. What we like to call ourselves out here are chicken tenders. So
because you tend to your chickens.
We tend to chickens, yes. So we are the chicken tenders.
Great.
So what really started this whole journey was my wife's passion for clean eating. That started everything. I was very naive to what our food was and how it was raised. I just kind of ate food to keep moving, and my wife slowly introduced me to what real food is. Like some people, I don't believe anything until I research it myself. So I just kind of yeah-ya'd it and continued eating junk food. And then I started doing the research and realizing, a chicken breast isn't a chicken breast. A hamburger isn't a hamburger. It actually matters how that chicken was raised, how that cow was raised, how it was fed, directly influences the end product. And so as we began doing more and more research, we kind of dove into it together. And then it just started more of, we were just going to maybe homestead, find some small acreage. We were never initially looking for anything that quite this large. But I think the Lord had different plans for us. This piece of property came from a dear family that contacted us. It wasn't on our radar. It wasn't on the market. They were ready to leave the farm. It was just too much for them to handle at the time, and we met with them over their kitchen table and made a handshake deal to take over this farm and then to run it in a way. We've kind of got a phrase out here that we say that it's better for the land. So everything that we do out here, we're thinking about the land, the soil, the grass. So really, at the end of the day, we're grass farmers. We want to enhance the soil. We want to grow organic matter. And so all of our processes that we develop into raising these chickens or any animal out here, we think about the land. And then we think about the animal. What kind of animal is it? Is it an herbivore? Is it an omnivore? What should we feed these animals? How did God create these animals? What are their created design? And that directly influences what we feed these animals. And then ultimately, it's better for us, the consumers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great. So explain to me, so the mother hen.
The mother hen.
Does it stay here?
This mother hen does not. So it's built on skids. So everything that we do is mobile. We want these chickens to be moving. So the Lord created these chickens to drop some very rich nitrogen matter out of their rear ends all day long. And it's a big problem for a lot of people. And as long as you have a chicken coop that does not move, it's a problem. But when these chickens are out here on pasture, this hen house, we move every 2 days. And so the reasoning for that is in those 2 days, these chickens are able to eat the grass, eat the insects just like they're doing out here all day long, as well as manuring in these areas. But in 2 days, then this hen house gets moved forward onto a fresh patch of pasture. New grass, new area to lounge in, fresh bugs to eat, and then it just never stops.
Awesome. That's great. So this is where you have your layers.
Yes, these are all our grazing ladies, is what we call them out here. The Grazing Farm, these are our grazing ladies because they're out here. They're grazing the grass, eating bugs, and as a byproduct, we get a delicious egg.
Awesome. So meat chickens?
Meat chickens are behind us over here. So our meat birds, we run also in a Joel Salatin type chicken tractor that we move every single day as well for those meat birds. Everybody, that's Frank. And he's just doing his job.
Yep.
He's a great dog. Hey, it's okay.
Cool. So how are your meat chickens raised differently than your egg layers?
Yeah, great question. The meat birds, the broiler chickens, they've been genetically selected over many years. So like I said, not genetically modified, but genetically selected to be a very fast growing breed. And so the meat birds, they're on the farm for 8 weeks. They hatch, we get them. 8 weeks later, they're going to the processor. That's how fast they grow. And they grow with large breasts of meat, just like we've come to like, the chicken breast, where these layers, they grow much slower. They have much more energy. And so they cover more ground by grazing, where the meat birds are much more lazy and just want to eat the food that is right in front of them.
Oh, yeah.
But for their benefit and for our benefit and for the land's benefit, we do still move them every single day.
Yeah. And you can see this if you look if you're watching instead of listening, you can see this really green patch of grass over here behind Jake. That is where the broilers have been.
Correct.
And you can see the difference between that and the little bit of pasture that they're on, how much darker green the grass is.
Yeah.
That's really crazy.
Yeah, that grass, that dark piece of grass there has recovered in 5 weeks to look like that.
So what did it look like before that? Was it pretty run down?
It was completely matted down from chicken manure.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very similar to the backside of the hen house was this morning. Mm-hmm. So a good, there was grass eaten, there was grass matted down, and then there was, a good layer of manure underneath that. But that goes back to the manure situation in a standalone coop, where it just piles and piles and piles. But at the right proportion, it's a great benefit to the land and not a problem.
Very cool. So what else? What all do you provide at the farm? I guess we got right into the chickens, but what all? If someone wanted to buy eggs, chicken, what all can they buy from you?
So right now, as we are recording this podcast,
As of May 28th.
May 28th, we offer pasture-raised eggs, and we offer pasture-raised chicken. And both of these chickens do get a feed, and we feed a non-GMO, corn-free, soy-free feed to them. Coming very soon, Lord willing, June 1st, which is not very many days from now.
Let's say about 3 days.
We will also be offering grass-fed and finished beef from Big Grass Beef, Austin Blendon, great guy, and then forest-raised pork from Allie Jones at Spring-Fed Family Farms, and then also a grass-fed and finished lamb from Justin Lawrence, and then a locally roasted coffee from Blue Spruce.
Blue Spruce.
Yeah, owned by the one and only Colby Bennett.
Nice. So, eggs, chicken, pork, beef, coffee, lamb. Wow.
That's it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
So pretty much everything meat-wise, poultry-wise that someone would need, right?
Yeah. 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 Trying to hit all the proteins. Try to be like Arby's. We have the meats.
We have the meats. You guys have all the fun names around here.
Yes. Yeah.
That's great. So, so why offer that wide range? Does that like set you apart from other farms? Are there a lot of like kind of single product farms?
Yeah. So it's kind of a loaded question in a sense.
Okay. Unintentionally loaded.
Yeah, right. So when we first started the farm, I've learned. So, like I said, I didn't come from a farming background. So I became a book junkie. I read. I don't know. I read books for 2 or 3 years before we ever did this, and 10, 15, 20 books a year, just taking in all of the information that I could take in as fast as I could take it in, to prevent making large mistakes.
Right.
But one of the big things that I learned when I was taking in all that information was to be a small scale farmer, local, regenerative farmer, and to do it full time, which we don't do right now. I have a full time job. I work for a local company here in Cushing, Fechner Pump and Supply, a great company. Very happy to be employed with them. But in order to do it full time, you had to have multiple enterprises. You wanted to stay away from having a monocrop, or even a monospecies. Okay. And so, you think of a monocrop, you're...
you just grow like corn.
Yeah, just straight corn or straight soybeans. All you have to offer is selling that to the commodity market. And so that price is determined for you. And so you're not able to really set your own prices. You're growing the best that you can grow, and then you're just hoping that the prices are going to be good that year.
Yeah.
In this environment, you have the ability to actually calculate what your costs are and then set your price for this product. But more than that, you want multiple enterprises. You don't want just one thing. And so back to your question, I'm kind of taking a circle around there. I felt like I had to do everything all at once. So I needed to do pastured eggs. I needed to do pastured chicken. I needed to do grass-fed beef. I needed to do pastured or forest-raised pork. I needed to do lamb. I needed to do all of these things because I thought everything needed to come from my farm all at once and right now. And I realized very fast that that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
One, I don't have the time for that.
Right.
Two, I don't have the funds to do that. Three, I don't have the knowledge to do that. And so I found my place pretty fast as the chicken guy.
Okay.
So we are the chicken tenders in the area.
Yeah.
We're like I said before, we're partnering with Austin, who does really good job raising very high quality beef. Allie raises amazing pork. Justin does great lamb. Colby, I was never going to do coffee, but Colby has amazing coffee. And so we found very quickly that partnering with other farms who do things at a high level is the best route for us now. Once we develop some of these enterprises that we've got now and grow them, scale them up, then we can bring in maybe some different enterprises onto our farm here. But for right now, our focus is chicken and eggs.
Because you do have some cattle here.
We do.
But not just more, they're yours. They're not necessarily part of.
Yeah, so they do still have a job here. So so basically, we try to filter everything on this farm as making sure that they've got a purpose and a job. So I guess there's like that. There's no free lunch. That whatever that phrase is. So we don't have any freeloaders here on the farm. I say that. I obviously have a sweet spot for my daughter. We got her a little rabbit. And, so she's got her pet, and then we've got a couple cats that have become a little more house friendly than ravenous mice catching cats. But outside of that, but our cows. So why do we have them now? Is we have several acres of land that it's more difficult to run our chickens on, but that land still needs to be taken care of.
Right.
And if it's just left alone, then it's going to be overgrown and unusable. But when you have animal impaction, you have the cows, dropping their manure load on it, as well as pruning and grazing the grass.
Right.
And so we rotationally graze them just like we do everything else.
They keep trees and things like that from growing up.
Yeah.
You'd have to go through with heavy machinery later to remove.
Right. Yeah. And so we just don't have enough to actually offer that to a retail customer or a wholesale. They're just here serving their purpose as helping regenerate the land while we're here. And then, we do butcher them, just for our family, one or two steers a year, max.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's nice. So what is your long-term vision for this? I mean, you mentioned kind of adding different enterprises as time goes along. Do you want to, eventually do this full time, hire people?
Yeah, another great question.
He's not committing himself to anything. We're just dreaming right now.
This is a dream. That's good point.
Yeah.
Good point. I'm going to be on record now. So, do I want to do this full time? The answer is yes. If I could do this full time, I would love to. Is that the goal? The answer to that is also yes. What's the time frame that's going to happen? I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
Years, plural. I do know that.
Yeah.
Nothing close in sight by any means. So we're working on scaling up as much as possible right now. So like I said, we're going to do about 4,000 meat birds this year. That's still very small compared to if you're thinking full time. I mean, we need to be up towards 20,000 a year minimum. If you want to talk about a full size enterprise on your farm, that's brings in a good portion for a livable wage.
Right.
That then you could add other enterprises on. Even those 20,000 birds, that's not a sustainable living just on that. But that could be a good single enterprise to then build others off of.
Yeah.
And so we're still at like the 4,000 mark, which is great growth for us. Super excited.
50.
50 to 4,000 in 2 years. Yeah, praise the Lord. We'll take it.
Don't expect that same.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Hey, if you know, is it Joe's farm? Joe's farm. He started with 50 meat birds. Last year he did 30,000, and this year he's doing 100,000
What?
meat birds. So,
Wow.
I guess never say never, right?
Right.
Way to go,
right.
Joe.
Yeah.
No, so the goal is so I'm trying to think much more long term. I mean, not even necessarily more about myself, but more about my children. So I mean, we're in this for the long haul. I'm not looking to try to, like I'm not miserable at my day job and trying to find something else to do and hoping this works. No, I've got a great job. I love what I do. I work for a great company. This is more long term. I want my kids running this when they get old enough to do it and take it over and take it further than I could have ever imagined. And so I'm trying to think generational. Just start. That was the main thing. And then, listen to the Lord, grow as opportunity arises, and don't try to become something that it's not. With that being said, we do have some opportunity for some growth, to where we might be able to maybe even double our meat production, as soon as next year, but maybe even before the year comes to an end this year. But again, we just take those opportunities as they come, and we're thankful for kind of where we're at today.
Yeah.
So the goal is to do it full time, but whether that's 10 years from now, that's 10 years from now.
It's exciting though.
Yeah, it is.
It's always good to have a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you said, it was just starting, that was kind of like the goal is to just get it started. Was this your first time starting a business?
No, it was actually, this is my second business.
Okay.
And so, I started a kind of a construction business, back in, you'd think I would know, but I don't, probably 2015, 2016. And it was called Kelly Sheds. So I worked for a shed building company in Colorado Springs. I was out there. I worked with a ministry called Every Home for Christ. Lived out there for a few years, and while I was out there, I worked at this company that built sheds. And so sheds, garages, shops, things like that. And came back to Oklahoma and was like, hey, I could do that. And I was actually still working with the same company that I'm with now, but I was in a different area, and my dad's always been in some sort of construction, and I thought, well, I could start this company and do it where he's at. So I started this company, and I was never actually there. So I was 3 hours away from it all the time, and so I just kind of ran the behind the scenes of the business. And then my dad and we had a few other and like contractors, W-9 contractors that actually went out and built the structures and things like that. And so it was more of a let's see if we could get something moving off the ground. My dad's always loved being a part of something like that, and see what it would turn into.
Is he involved with the farm?
Yes, he is.
Cool.
Yeah. He's out here every day.
Yeah.
Checking on chickens,
Awesome.
moving chickens.
So you guys kind of have
Looking
a
at cows.
3-generation.
We do, yeah. We got.
I know your kids are young, but
Yeah, no. Well, we've got 3 generations on the farm. My parents live here on the farm with us.
Awesome.
And then it's my wife and I.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I do have. I am married to my lovely wife, Mariah.
You mentioned your wife at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And we have 4 children, as well. So an 8-year-old boy named Easton, 6-year-old girl.
These chickens are all under the table, by
Yes,
the
they
way.
are.
They're just
Yeah. My daughter Selah, and then a 4-year-old son, Kyler, and then our youngest, newest addition is Olivia, and she's about 4 months old. So, yeah, we're busy.
very exciting.
But yeah, Pawpaw, he's out here. He is the Pawpaw chicken tender.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So, tell me about land management. What do you do? I know from being out here that you build your chicken tractors out of wood from your land.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah. So we try to make something that's a problem solve, become a solution. And so cedars in our area are invasive, and they're a problem. They're a nuisance. They're everywhere. But they have good qualities. They're rot resistant. They're pest resistant. And so we have several cedars on this farm. And so when we first moved out here, when we first bought the property, before we even moved out here, I learned this concept of just sawmilling from Joel Salatin. He's a big advocate of that and does it as well. And so I came out to this property kind of with that mindset, knowing that there's a bunch of trees out here. And so I took an inventory of our trees out here, the different species, and obviously found a lot of cedars, and not just short, stubby cedars, tall cedars, but as you know, a lot of them cedars are down in some ravines.
They are down in some ravines.
Some deep ravines, but they're tall.
But that's what tractors are for.
That's right. That's right. They're tall, and they make great wood. And so we went and we bought a sawmill, and it's paid for itself 3 or 4 times
I'm sure.
over.
Lumber's expensive.
Yeah. So that hen house completely 100% built from cedar on the farm, milled. Every single one of our chicken tractors built from cedar on the farm. We've got a pole barn up there that is all built from cedar on the farm. It got its first taste of Oklahoma spring, and the roof got ripped off of it. But, it's we have managed the land by taking away those invasive species, but not just taking them out, but putting them to good use.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So I've kind of noticed this theme of you're trying to use all of the different aspects of your enterprises and your land to kind of solve each other's problems. And you're trying to almost create like a singular ecosystem within your farm. That's not very common in farming.
Yeah. I think what it comes down to for us is we want to partner with nature. We don't want to work against nature. And so because of that, we want to take all of the aspects into consideration and see how they serve each other. And so that's how we try to determine anything here on the farm. And so another little catchphrase that we have here on our farm is it's raised nature's way. And so what we mean by that is more like raised in a way that honors its created design. And what I mean by created design, I mean God's intended created design. And so like the created design for this chicken is for it to be out expressing its chickenness. It's supposed to be scratching green grass, eating bugs, being able to express itself. It is an omnivore, though, and so it can eat grain, and that's good for it.
Some of them, I think, have been trying to eat me while we've been sitting here. So.
Well, yeah, they will too. Yes. But our cows, on the other hand, they're not. They're herbivores, so they receive no grain. They eat grass only. And so we try to work with nature and not against it, because if you're working with nature, you're fighting a losing battle every time.
That makes sense. So tell me, if people wanted to buy your products, where do they buy them?
Yeah. Again, June 1st, potentially.
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 But eggs and chicken now.
Eggs and chicken now, yes. But so June 1st, we're hoping to launch our website on June 1st.
Well, this isn't going to come out until like at least next Wednesday.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah.
So, I mean, I've got a couple days. So June 3rd,
Yeah.
4th. We'll see if I make that date. But very soon, our website is going to be live. And all of our products will be on that website. And so we have been we've been doing testing on shipping our product. And so we got some, our boxes, that's not a big deal. But then, we worked with the box manufacturer on getting some insulated tiles to insulate our boxes. And then some freezer packs. And then so we're just trying to figure out, how long our products can stay frozen to determine how far we can ship product. But basically, we can ship anywhere inside of the state of Oklahoma in 1-day transit. And so we probably won't launch shipping on June 1st because we're still in the middle of doing some testing. We're trying to wait for more warmer weather to really determine that.
Right, because that could make a big difference if it's 110 outside versus the 80s that it's been.
Absolutely, yeah. It's gonna determine how much ice packs we're gonna have to put into that product, kind of what our buying thresholds are.
Yeah.
And so I know we may be going over time, but like there's these thresholds.
There's no time limit.
Oh, okay. So there's these thresholds that I'm trying to work through on our website because I want this stuff to be easy to get, user-friendly to get, simple to get, not jumping through all of these hoops because a lot of the times buying sustainably raised food is just difficult to buy. You either have to buy it in huge quantities or it's only available at certain times, and seasonality is a really good thing, by the way. We only raise our chicken from March to November because we want them out on green grass. But it's just can be difficult. So what I'm trying to work through, why I'm trying to wait for warmer weather, is I'm trying to determine what's my threshold on product, because when you have a box that's insulated and it's being shipped, it matters how much product is in that box for how long it's going to stay frozen. So we will actually have to develop some sort of minimum dollar amount, but that's not based. It's not primarily the dollar amount that we're worried about. It's based about the volume of product that's inside that box to keep it frozen. For the shipping. So I said all of that to say we're still working on our shipping department, and we really want to focus on that because that's what's going to bring convenience. But as soon as we launch our website, we will offer home delivery that we will just deliver ourselves. June 1st on our website, thegrazingfarm.com is going to be the website. And then obviously we have our social media, Instagram at The Grazing Farm or Facebook.
And these will all be linked in the show notes. So
perfect.
So people can buy directly from you. Are there any places where people can go and pick up your product?
Yes. So right now there's one.
Okay.
We are working with one wholesale company in Broken Arrow, Okie Family Market. Shout out to Eric and Stephanie. You guys are awesome. And so, that's in Broken Arrow. Phenomenal people, great family. They're doing some amazing things over there. And so, if you're in that Broken Arrow area, our chicken and eggs are there. Austin's beef is there. Allie's pork is there. Justin's lamb isn't there yet, but it might be. We'll see, Lord willing. Right now, officially, that's the only wholesale market that is offering our products.
Cool. Well, that's great. We're all excited for you. We're excited to see what comes, and hopefully you can double your chicken production by the end of the summer.
Hey, we'll see. I don't know. Time will tell.
We'll see. All right. Well, thanks for having me out to the farm.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys, for listening to the Still Connect podcast. And if you love today's episode, don't forget to follow the podcast on social as well, and to share the podcast with all of your Stillwater friends. If you believe in building community through these conversations, consider supporting the podcast on Patreon, where, for less than the price of a cup of coffee, you can get early access to episodes, a peek behind the curtain at the podcast making process, and a shout out on an episode. With a higher contribution, you can do things like submit questions for upcoming guests, make special requests for the show, get access to online Q&As, and even be on the podcast for an interview segment. No matter what your capacity for supporting the podcast is, every little bit helps grow this amazing community. And we all need community. So even when life gets busy, make sure you still connect.